Hey, Ty. Ty, can you come here?
Yeah.
Do you know where Jibs is?
I'm not really sure. You want me to go get him?
Yeah, can you go get him? Just tell him we're ready to record.
Okay.
I've got it all set up.
I'll get him now. Go, Jibs. You ready? Oh my god.
Oh. There's no way you're wearing that, brother. No, we're not. We're stopping recording right now. There's no way. What the fuck? Hey, okay. We're recording right now, by the way.
I mean, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Okay, well, you want to go?
We'll go.
Okay. Welcome back to the Multiverse Lounge. I'm your host, Justice.
And I'm Jibs.
And we've got an exciting episode for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Apologies that this wasn't a week from our last episode. It's been a bit, but you know, life gets in the way. But we're here.
Life gets a little bit in the way, but
We're here. We're excited. Oh, can't wait to talk about it.
So I guess.
Yep. That's what we're talking about today.
What
we're talking about today, Jibs?
It's just Spider-Man brand new
Spider-Man
day.
brand new day. Before we get to that, we'll get to the social aspect. What have you been up to, Jibs? Well,
we both know what we've been up to. Look, I'll tell you my sort of, I guess, experience going to watch Spider-Man.
Watch the movie, yep.
So
watch it opening night?
Watch it opening night, went with my friend. Kind of cool, we had matching Spidey outfits.
That's mad.
It was actually really, really hectic. And then just going there, going up to the movies and seeing everyone else. Everyone else was in costumes.
Yeah.
We took.
You went to Chatswood as well.
Yeah, I went to Chatswood as well. There was a guy there in a full Spider-Man suit.
What time was your session?
6:40.
Okay,
6:40.
yeah. We went to the 9:45 because it was just sold. It was sold out.
It was sold out.
Like to mirror you, the vibe and energy around the cinema was like something I haven't seen in years.
Haven't seen since No Way Home.
Since No Way Home, and
Yeah.
it was packed. Oh my god, it was packed.
It was packed, but like
People were excited.
You had like families there. You had people who were dressed up as Spidey.
Every sort of person, old, young.
People were
couples.
dressed up in their own matching outfits.
Yeah.
You know, it was really cool to see, and I like not just Spider-Man. I wish every like film that's maybe not as big, but like they can do this, and it's okay to go.
Yeah, it's an event.
Yeah,
it's
like
an event,
imagine going to the Odyssey with like helmets. Like
that would have been
that would be amazing.
That's the one thing about, you know, like I know Marvel movies get criticized, but that's the one thing that I always love about them. They're an event. It brings people together, and that was the same with our theater experience. We went to Chatswood as well. 9:45 session, me and a couple mates, and yeah, it was just exciting, and just seeing everyone dressed up and everyone excited, and our cinema like crowd was pretty chill. Like weren't making too much noise, but people were into it and engaged.
Yeah. And
what about you?
Yeah, I guess before like we get into the movie, like my theater fully packed out.
Yeah, same.
Not an empty seat at
really.
all. And by the end of the movie, everyone was clapping at the end.
Everyone was clapping
at the end, and like saying it again, just I've never seen a theater experience like that since No Way Home.
Since No Way Home, yeah.
And it just
that's just
Spider-Man, man.
Yeah. No, but we'll should we get into it?
Yeah, we'll get into it. Look, our topic of the day, our NRL talk.
NRL talk.
It's
round
all Spider-Man.
22. I think no, it's we're not talking about that shit. Fuck that shit.
shit.
We can talk about that next week, bro.
Yeah, we're just talking about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man brand new day.
Spider-Man
That's going to be
all day, every day.
Pretty much the entire episode. We're not really going to like sequence it per se. We'll go through our review and our rating and general thoughts, and then we'll geek out about it. But it won't be a sequence like a normal episode.
Yeah, so we'll have our general thoughts in the beginning, but we'll just put out a spoiler warning just before we get into it.
Yeah, this first part of the episode we'll do kind of a spoiler free. I mean, it's been a couple days since, so if you haven't seen
it, I'm sorry, it's your fault.
Like, yeah, you got to go watch that shit. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, do you want to start? You'll kick this off. What do you?
Yeah.
How am I gonna start this? What do you think of the movie? In like spoiler-free terms. And then we'll get to our rating.
What did I think of this movie? This movie was unironically amazing.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Unironically, yeah.
Incredible. And just like in terms of a rating system, like I would give this probably a 9 out of 10. Look, we went and watched it again today for the second time.
Yeah, also to add on that social aspect, we did just come back from watching it a couple of hours ago, just to refresh on what we thought. I'll give you my thoughts on that, but so you reckon 9 out of 10?
I reckon 8, 9 out of. I'm gonna say 9. I'm gonna say 9.
Okay.
9 out of 10.
I initially, when I first saw this movie, I was sitting at an 8 out of 10,
Okay.
which is still pretty high.
Which is high. Which
You
is
know?
very high.
But I had a lot of things that I can't really say until we talk to this in the spoiler aspect that didn't really work for me. Then we went and watched it today.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it was just because of the hype and just, when you go and watch these movies, it's like, a full crowd, surreal. When we went and watched it midday, there's only a couple of people in there, could actually engage with the movie.
In like the theater itself.
And with
just,
that, I think it's a 9. It's 9 out of
it's a
10,
9
dude.
out of 10.
It's a really good fucking movie. Like,
you know what's crazy? Like we watched it and it was better the second time.
Yeah, it was better the second time. Yeah. And I was initially going to come on here and say, like, oh, there was just things that really didn't work for me that brought it to an 8 out of 10. But on second viewing, there's still things I don't really agree with, but I think it works a lot better the second time when you actually follow through the story and you can kind of see where it's going and all that. So, it's kind of hard to talk about with no spoilers, but it's a 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic movie.
It's an incredible movie.
And I remember you saying one thing that's perfectly describes this movie without getting in depth with it. When we got out of the movie theater, Jibs was like, I know we got to do our review, but like if we didn't have to do that, I'd go straight back and watch it again.
Yeah, literally.
I was like, that's so true.
The first thing I said as soon as we
hopped out of the theater.
As soon as we hopped out of the theater, I turned to Justice and I was like, Justice, if I could, I'd ditch your ass right now and I'd go back in the theater and watch it again.
And I second that, and I said after that, I was like, look, I view this movie as like a roller coaster ride that you line up waiting to get on. As soon as you get off it, you're like, I want to line back up and I want to go straight back on the ride, realistically.
Yeah.
And it is an emotional ride.
And
absolutely emotional.
It's not like this movie makes you feel great the whole way through.
It makes you feel a lot of things.
It makes you feel so many different things.
So many different things.
By the end of it, you're just like, wow.
Wow. Yeah,
like, wow.
Yeah. We are, obviously, again, not touching to spoilers, but there were a couple moments in the theater where I could kind of look over and see Jibril, and he was feeling the same emotions that I was feeling.
Yeah.
And just a roller coaster ride. I think kind of moving on to some of the performances in this movie. I mean, you can start it, Jibs. I think Tom Holland is.
I think this is. I haven't seen the Odyssey.
Bruh.
I think I will go and see the Odyssey eventually. Like, I'll talk to my chud friends, but
I think I'm gonna go see it as well.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to see it in
But
IMAX,
from what I've heard and what I've seen, especially after seeing this is hands down by far Tom Holland's best performance.
Yeah,
Of
I was
all
waiting
time.
for you to say that.
Yeah,
This
is Tom Holland's like.
This is Tom Holland's like
This is
crown jewel.
This is that one year where LeBron just got first for
first
for everything.
He was first in everything. This is like Tom Holland's.
This is Tom Holland's run.
Yeah, and it's funny because obviously we weren't doing the podcast when No Way Home came out, but my initial thoughts when No Way Home came out was I think this is Tom Holland's best performance.
Yeah, when No Way Home came out, what I will say is the first half it was like I would say it was an average Tom Holland performance.
Yeah, average Tom Holland performance, and then the back end.
The moment Aunt May dies, his performance just
and that ending with Goblin and everything. And I remember thinking like, damn, I've always rated Tom Holland as a performer. I've never seen him act to this caliber.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, that's a tough. No, he absolutely excels that bar.
Killed it.
His performance in this is so vulnerable. It's so gripping. It's like you feel for him, man.
There's
Like
just
it's
so much range,
so much
depth.
range, so much depth. I think he's just so good in this, man.
And
I really rate him as an actor. I think he's so good.
I think now that he's moved past, like, because he had No Way Home and then he had Uncharted, and people were like, oh, it's just an easy casting. Like Tom Holland gives like a very basic performance.
Yeah.
Like, not bad by any means. I've never thought Tom Holland was bad at all. It's just people got used to it. This has like, Tom Holland is that guy.
100%.
Tom Holland
100%
is that
dude.
guy.
He carries this film, but also it's amongst multiple fantastic performances as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like Zendaya, she's also just.
I
mean, Zendaya, she's been proven to be
Zendaya's
fantastic.
been proven, like, you know, Euphoria,
Yeah.
June,
Yeah.
all those other medias. But in this one, when we get into spoiler territory as well, it's just there's one moment where you can see it.
Yeah,
and you're
bro.
like,
Yeah. Look. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that.
But yeah, Zendaya is, I mean, a magnetic performer. I think she's also just so stunning. Oh my god.
okay.
I know. I had to point it out. Like she is like.
I will say she looks a lot
she's
better.
glowing in this.
She looks a lot better
Dude,
in this
she's
movie
glowing.
with her makeup and stuff in terms
Yeah.
of portraying MJ
MJ. Yeah.
than
Yeah.
she has in the last 3 movies.
She's I know with the MCU they've kind of done her own interpretation of MJ. She's not Mary Jane Watson. She's what
Michelle
Jones. But I think as her portrayals go on through the trilogy, the Watts trilogy, and this, she's becoming more and more like comic book MJ. She's still her own character,
Yeah.
but yeah, she's fantastic in this. I think Jacob Batalon is also, I think it's his best performance as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Granted, I think in the previous movies he doesn't get really much to do, but in this movie,
in this one, you can, like the other movie, like Homecoming, you could feel like, oh yeah, Peter and Ned are best friends.
yeah, they're best friends.
In this one, when they are separated, you can feel you're like,
Yes, yeah.
Ned is his best friend.
yeah, absolutely, and again, yeah, Tom Holland's amazing in this.
And if it wasn't Tom Holland being the MVP, it's John Bernthal.
John Bernthal is. I'm so glad you said that because he's like the glue of this movie. I think a lot of the things that I'll touch on, like a lot of the story decisions I wasn't happy about in the first viewing, which kind of got better in the second viewing. I think John Bernthal cleans up look, it's hard to talk about with no spoilers, but like point is John Bernthal's amazing as Punisher.
Like, I didn't know I needed it to. This is basically a Spidey and Punisher team up. Movie.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's something that I didn't know I needed to see.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think the MCU's always kind of toyed with like, is the Punisher and Daredevil and all that, are they in this universe? They were kind of like in the universe, but they were kind of like sidelined. You know, you never knew if they were going to be included with the Avengers and Spider-Man and Hulk. And I know it's not technically John Bernthal's introduction to the MCU because he's always been in the MCU technically, but his introduction to Punisher on the big screen, and for people who are unfamiliar with the Frank Castle character,
Yeah.
I think it's so well done. And I think we're also forgetting, like, excuse me, I think we're forgetting that this is a PG-13 interpretation of Punisher.
Yeah.
And going into this movie, a lot of people, myself included, were like, PG-13 Punisher. I mean,
And this is
I don't know how I feel about that. You know,
they did this so perfectly where it's like we always had like a PG-13 Wolverine.
Yeah.
And like all those different types of characters, and people were having the same reservations with Punisher. They're like, how are you going to bring an R-rated character?
Yeah.
And this is the one thing I like disagree with people. They're like, oh no, you need to keep him. You don't always have to keep him.
No. This movie's a perfect example of
because
that, bro.
if you keep him the same R-rated character,
Yeah.
like, which yes, he is a great character in that medium.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
you know, killing people,
Yeah.
swearing, all that
Frank
stuff.
Castle is a brutal
character,
character.
a brutal character,
Brutal.
but it makes it almost one-dimensional.
Yes, absolutely.
This gives him range as a character.
Gives him range, and you'd actually be surprised how much he is in this film.
Yeah.
Like you would think about it if you just look at the promotional material and think like, oh, Punisher, it looks like he's in it, but like only for a couple. No, he's actually quite an integral part of the story.
Yeah, like without him, some of the plot doesn't move forward.
So he's fantastic in that. I mean, look, there's a certain character, and look, Sadie Sink's really good in this movie.
Sadie Sink is
we'll
really,
just touch on
really
it.
good.
She's really, really good in this
She's
movie.
really, really
Can't
good.
really talk about how that is. But
Yeah,
like,
especially when like Justice was barking at her as soon as she came out.
I mean, I heard a couple barks from you, bro. So let's not point the finger up. Yeah, look, she's also a very stunning woman.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. But yeah, she's awesome in it. Other notable performances.
Look, at this point, I feel like we'll get into spoilerish spoiler territories from now on. So
yeah. Just before we get that, I just also want to say I will give a lot of credit to Destin Daniel Cretton.
Oh, yeah.
Just before we get to spoilers, sorry to interject. I think him picking up what John Watts left and his interpretation of Spider-Man. No hate to John Watts, but I think it's elevated.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
it's just
in the MCU. It's a different level.
It's just a different level.
It's a different level.
Like, and it's not one different level. It's like
there's multiple. And I still love John Watts. I love what he's done, but it felt like they've elevated the character. This world that Spider-Man is, it feels elevated. Feels like from the action set pieces to some of the emotional performances to how the movies look. The movie looks like
the movie is
Looks
beautiful. Like
beautiful,
I turned to
bro.
Justice in the theater and I was like, "Hey, dude, where's the CGI in this movie?"
Yeah,
I couldn't see it aside from
like
a character using one of their powers. I mean, obviously Spidey, but another character.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, even like Hulk looks like
Hulk
unbelievable. And like Mark Ruffalo does a good job in this as well. He's always kind of batting at a high average of his performances. But Hulk looks like
especially Savage
terrifying,
Hulk.
bro.
Yeah.
Terrifying. But credit to him and credit to Tom Holland again, because I know not only does he perform in this, but he's now, I think he's an executive producer. Or if he doesn't have an executive producer cred, he's in the writing room now. And you can so tell that he cares about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He really cares about the character and he really wants to do it justice. No pun intended.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that they got this right, man. I'm so happy they got this right. But yeah, we'll move on to spoilers.
Spoilers.
I don't even know where to start. Where do you want to start?
I guess, look, as you mentioned before earlier, Sadie Sink, she was Jean Grey.
She was Jean
in
Grey.
this
I
movie.
think everyone kind of, found that out.
And in my first viewing, I didn't know how to think about her character. I thought she played it well. I thought Jean Grey was a great inclusion. But I thought maybe her motivation in terms of, like, her sister was a little bit generic. But then I thought about it after I left the first time in the theater. I said, hang on a second. There's been multiple interpretations of Jean Grey in the comics and in movies, and people have hated every single one. They have not liked Jean Grey, and it's the whole reason they gave her the Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
It is the whole reason they gave her the Phoenix Force. So I understand now that they needed to go down a different route where they make her the villain, and she's intimidating as fuck. She does some evil fucking shit in this movie.
So, to jump off your point, when I first saw this movie, because my viewing experiences are very different. Like I said, one was an 8 out of 10, one's a 9 out of 10. My massive issue with the film initially, and it's still kind of an issue for me, but it dwindles on the second viewing, is Jean Grey. And first off, I want to point out, like I said, Sadie Sink's performance in this is fantastic.
Incredible.
It's emotional. It's like kind of like she's like Jean as a character is very cutthroat and very cruel and very like, oh my god, that's just like that's a horrible thing.
She's like not. She's the villain in this movie, but she
is
the
the antagonist for a lot of this film.
She's the antagonist, but she's not a villain, obviously, in general.
By nature,
She's normally a hero, but like, she's one of the better villains in the MCU.
She's a very, very like just good villainous presence, and I think it harkens on a lot of like Phoenix stuff, Dark Phoenix stuff, and I feel like I could see the MCU going down that route. But yeah, amazing performance by her. But my main issue with the film, bringing it back to, is by the end of the film, it tries to make you empathize with Jean Grey and all the stuff with her sister, and there's this emotional ending to it. And I think it's handled so well, but I think as an audience member, and I think a lot of people share this, I've seen it online, it's hard to empathize with Jean Grey because she's so like fucking evil in this movie. It's hard to be like, oh my god, I feel bad for Jean Grey when she's a villain in this movie. She's probably killed a lot of people in this movie. think about all the innocent people that were
Yeah, that bomb did go off.
impacted
Yeah.
by her, whether they were killed or not. Like, she even, the stuff with MJ, I think that's just like,
I
holy
think that's
crap.
we'll touch on that in a
We'll touch on that in a second, but I think when it gets to the end of the film, you've got to empathize with Jean. I just find it hard to, but on the second viewing, I think it's a lot easier to, I think maybe because you already expect it, but also I think what got me in the end of the film is back to Tom Holland and how he just gets Peter Parker so right. Like, Peter Parker, despite how tormented he is throughout this film by Jean, is still willing to sacrifice his life for her and protect her. That is like Peter Parker to a T.
To a T. Like, I turned to Justice in the
I
theater.
was like, bro,
and like Tom Holland had his mask off in his suit.
yeah.
And I turned to Justice and I said, "That is Peter Parker."
That is Peter Parker.
I could feel it.
Absolutely. And something I wanted to ask you, Jibs, is like, I have always rated Tom Holland, like we said, as a great Spider-Man. And in this movie, he's elevated. But, like, did you ever feel like Tom Holland was like, did he ever feel like fully Spider-Man to you? Because for me, he kind of did. But, like, this movie really elevates him.
For me, it was. I always thought Toby was a better Peter.
Yeah.
Because he was more dorky, more like socially awkward.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to interact with people.
Yeah.
And then he like got better and better. Like, you could see his progress in the movies.
Yeah.
Andrew, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like his Peter.
Yeah, it's a bit too, like, cool skater boy
cool
vibes.
skater boy, which is not Peter Parker.
That's not necessarily Peter Parker.
Like, I'm up for different interpretations, but
His Spidey, though, is,
yeah,
like,
his Spidey is really good. But
really, really
Tom Holland, like, he was a good Peter, he was a good Spider-Man, but nothing really stood out for him.
good. He never hit the heights that you thought the other Spider-Man did.
He never like really hit the heights. And then this movie just ends the conversation. It just ends the conversation.
I don't think it ends the conversation. I do think it's hard. I think Tom Holland is, like, right up there for me. I still maybe would pit Andrew because I just love I think his Spider-Man is, like, so...
Yeah.
It's just so Spider-Man to me. When I read Spider-Man comics, I hear Andrew's voice. I just think that's Spider-Man to me. But, like, Tom Holland's up there. Oh, I don't know.
I think the moment, like, for example, let's this, like, Spider-Man 5's in production comes out, yada yada, all that. I think if Tom Holland gives a performance where, in terms of his Spidey, now that we've gone through this emotional journey, where he starts putting more of those characteristics, where in this movie, he does it a little bit, where you start adding his quips. One thing I said to Justice is I want to see him start talking to himself. One thing that Spider-Man does that no one talks about is when he's swinging alone, when he's going to go fight someone.
In a monologue, internal dialogue.
You see in the comics, he is talking to himself, and the amount of people in real life, myself included, just catch yourselves in a room just speaking to yourself.
Yeah, I do that all the time, bro. Why do you think I wanted to start a podcast? Because I was going to stop talking to myself and actually talk to another human being.
Stop, like...
No, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you just hear, like, Spidey talking to himself, like, nothing beats that.
But so, no, I totally agree. I can't really argue it. Like, that's basically how I view things. I think Brand New Day, I always liked Tom, but he was always kind of maybe the step below. I think he's now up there. I alluded to you earlier when we got out the theater, but I didn't want to bring it up till now. Like you said, the little things he's added to Spider-Man in this interpretation, the quips, the, like, playful banter, the, that sequence where he needs to have a stretch before he That's so Pete. That's so Spider-Man, dude. Like, and he not to say he wasn't quipping before, because he was.
Yeah, he was.
But not to this kind of... It was very, like, innocent and, like, kind of... I don't want to say childlike, but it was very, like, It
was like high school humor.
Yeah, it was kind of high school humor. In this, he's, like, genuinely talking shit.
Yeah.
And that's Spider-Man
like,
to me.
Spider-Man, he is actually funny.
He's
like,
a shit talker, and he's fucking hilarious.
When he quips, he's actually funny.
Yeah, bro. Like, when I remember one line where the guards... They see Pete, and he's like, and they all point their guns at him. He's like, whoa, that's not very nice.
That's not very nice. I'm a friend of yours.
I'm a friend of yours, you know. And he's very like.
And then he just turns to him. He's like, okay, so you want to do this?
You want to do this? Yeah. And then he's got that New York accent. He's added a bit more of that New York accent.
Like I'm walking here.
Yeah, and just like, you know, the banter between him and Frank, which is just so good. Like when they're arguing in front of MJ, and he's like, "What does that look to you? What does that look like to you?" You know, I think that's so Pete, man, because Pete is a New Yorker, and I think, not to say he had a bit of a New York accent in the previous films, but in this he's like,
and I think that's what Andrew also got right.
Yeah, he also got that right as well.
That he felt like a New Yorker.
He felt like a New Yorker, and also. One thing we haven't mentioned is this is the first Tom Holland Spider-Man film that's like just all in New York.
Yeah.
And like I think it's such a welcome back to him web slinging through New York. That opening sequence.
That openings, dude. I need to talk about that opening sequence. Okay.
Bro.
So there's one thing about the camera work, right? Obviously amazing first person shots, inside the mask shots, but it wasn't the. It is the opening sequence, but it's after he does all that, and they do a really good job because they actually do a time skip without telling you it's a time skip.
Yes. So what a lot of people don't realize that I thought they would have just known is that this takes place years after No Way.
Yeah. So
it's not like straight after.
In the opening sequence, you see Ned say, "We're starting MIT."
We're starting MIT. Right?
And then by the end of that sequence, you hear Ned say, "We're in our last semester of MIT."
Which is like 4 years.
For those American bozos, it's like...
And they're in Boston right now. They're not...
Yeah, so they're not even in New York.
They're not even in New York, yeah. So... And look, that sequence... Like, you go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off, but...
So, like, it has all that montage, you know, with... Tombstone, Scorpion.
Yes,
Boomerang.
awesome little like references there.
But it's when he starts swinging and he's sliding down the building.
Oh my god!
It's not,
bro. I remember we were in the theater. I looked to you. I'm like, let's fucking go, bro.
It's not the shot. It's the music that got me.
Oh yeah,
the music where it builds up.
It builds up. Yeah,
it builds up, and it's like for me, like I'll give a weird example. When I'm watching TikTok, it's not the videos I'm hooked to; it's the sound.
Interesting.
The sound is what makes a video because you can listen to it. You can listen to it.
Yeah.
You can listen to a video with sound, but if you watch a video without sound, it's almost like artless.
Yeah.
In a
I
way.
think Steven. Look, don't quote me on it, but I think Steven Spielberg said like. Because he's worked with John Williams in the past, and he said, you know, like, movies without scores and music and sound is soulless. And I think that's to your point. And that's one thing that we didn't bring up. I think Michael Giacchino's revamped theme bro, it's so good.
Like, I thought his best theme was the remixed Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming in the intro, if you remember that one.
Yes.
I thought his theme for, like, Holland was, like, it was okay, but I always preferred Danny Elfman's.
Danny Elfman's, yeah.
My bad. I always preferred Danny Elfman's, like, that just felt like Spider-Man.
That felt like Spider-Man, yeah.
This revamped one.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so good. There's yeah, bro. Yeah. It's like there's hints of the old theme in there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of got a new age kind of interpretation to it. And I think Giacchino deserves a lot of credit. Like, I really liked his Fantastic Four theme. He did the soundtrack for Fantastic Four, composing, sorry. But in this, it's so well done. And then even in the sequences where, you know, that sequence where he's web slinging through the rain and all the memories are coming back to him.
Yeah.
They play the older themes, and it's like, it just hits you like a truck. It's so emotional.
Yeah.
And yeah, the music in this is so good. But like we said, like it's this. I can geek about so many things in this movie.
This movie was just phenomenal, man.
Yeah, bro.
And just like the different themes in this movie, and I
Yeah.
think the biggest theme of like being alone.
Yeah.
And what to do about being alone.
Yeah. I think I mean, I have this in our script here, like, you know, this movie plays with a lot of themes that are like relatable to modern day, and I think that's why it's kind of resonating with a lot of. I mean, this movie's like it's like second highest ever opening ever.
Yeah, opening and the highest domestic
opening ever. It's crushing it in the box office right now, and I think we're only a couple days.
Yeah.
It's made more money in its opening weekend than Supergirl ever made any money.
Yeah.
You know, ridiculous. But yeah, it touches on a lot of themes that are relatable, like male loneliness and isolation, and you know, one of the big talking points in modern society today is there's the male loneliness epidemic. You know, there's that meme where it's like, is this the cure to male loneliness? You know, it's
I mean,
funny.
you're like, I don't want to like step on any toes, but obviously you'll have like man haters out there. But
yeah,
but
true.
Like
True.
we're lonely men.
Yeah, look, I think, you know, it's I think that's why it resonates with a lot of people, and me and you included. Like, I think a lot of young men experience, you know, there's data showing that this is the loneliest period for men, emotionally speaking. I don't want to get too into the weeds on that, but like, the reason why I think this film and another film, Obsession, which is like my other favorite movie this year.
Yeah, Obsession was so good.
The reason why I think those films are so captivating to a lot of audiences, it explores a cautionary tale on male loneliness. Now, Obsession is like...
Obsession takes it the wrong fucking
takes it
way.
the wrong way, and what you shouldn't do. But so does Spider-Man. You shouldn't be isolated.
Yeah, it tells you what you shouldn't do,
Yeah,
but
like,
then it
Obsession explores male loneliness and how that can develop insecurity and emotional instability in men, which causes toxic attachment and basically stripping away someone's autonomy. But we're not here to talk about Obsession. Brand New Day explores how a lot of young men feel like, you know, putting themselves in isolation is strength, and they should carry that burden by themselves and not talk to anyone.
just having the weight of the world.
Having the weight of the world on your shoulders and having no one to talk to. And that's why I love, and I know you love Spidey so much, because I know it's overused, but he is really relatable. And this movie, I've never felt it more, how relatable Peter feels. Like, you could feel like it's you can self-insert. Like, you feel like Peter in this movie.
Like, Spider-Man 2 was the closest in terms of,
Yeah.
like, you're like, oh my god, Peter's getting dogged on.
Yeah, but
Like,
in this, it's like amplified.
It's like
bro.
amplified, but in this one, you can really, you're like, if you've gone through similar
Yeah,
stuff
man.
to what Peter has in this movie.
Whether it's girl problems, identity problems, kind of stress, like,
Yeah.
I know it's
Even social problems.
and I know it's melodramatic, so it's obviously over dramatic, but like, you know, I think the whole concept of him going through this transformation can be interpreted as like a lot of stress young men have on just their identity is their work, and that's all they have, and they don't have anyone to share it with. You know, you feel like Peter's just fucking lonely in this. You feel like he's so lonely. There's a scene that really hit me where, and it's not even the scenes you might even be thinking. There's a scene where he's hanging out with Ned and MJ, and they're just playing with Lego, and you can feel like they're reconnecting again. Even though Ned and MJ don't know Peter, you can feel that they've got that chemistry still.
You could tell he was smiling under there.
He could tell he was smiling.
Without even seeing...
And when Zendaya or MJ is like, oh, I'm sorry about him, he's a bit of a nerd. He's like, no, don't worry, this is the most fun I've had in years. That is so you feel happy for Peter, but like that is so sad.
It's so
That is so sad that his social interaction...
Even just like in the beginning of the movie where he's in the elevator and the chick's like, hey, you live here, right?
Yeah, bro.
And he's just kind of like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Walks away.
He walks
and then
away.
He looks back and he's like, in his head, he's just like, did I really
Did I fumble that shit?
Did I fumble it? Or was like...
And I know me and you both can relate to that
yeah,
shit.
fucking, yeah,
But,
why not?
You know, I think it's so real having like when you are isolated, when you have that social interaction where it's just too fast for your brain to register, you don't know how to react. That's so real.
Yeah, it's...
People
We literally had that at the movie theater.
Yeah, bro.
where this guy was ordering food and he's like, oh yeah, just can I have... I was like, you want the whole fridge or something?
There you go. But yeah, it just... to bring it back, I just think this movie plays on themes that are so relatable and so endearing, and it's what makes you fall in love with Peter and feel for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, we might as well bring up the scene, like the scene.
The most.
Well, there's two scenes. There's one that's really fucked up. Well, they're both fucked up. There's one that's like, oh my god, that's like cruel.
the most evil thing I've ever seen in
And
my
then
life.
there's one that's like, not necessarily evil because it is a natural reaction, but you feel it's gut wrenching. So the first scene is obviously you find out Jean Grey is after MJ. Peter's gone and got her, and he's like, I need to save you, all that. And then they're on this rooftop, and you feel like it is MJ. She's questioning. Like, do we mean something to each other? Why is it always me? Type thing. And then she starts to piece it together. Like
she starts piecing it up. She starts, feeling his face, and then lifts it up like
Lifts
this.
it up.
It's almost the upside down kiss, but they're standing up.
Yeah, they're
normally,
standing up, and
then
they kiss.
They kiss, and
she
then
takes his mask off, and she's like, Peter.
Oh my God.
And
Peter.
dude, I got to give credit again to Tom Holland. It is like
and
he is
Zendaya in that scene.
Zendaya's also amazing. Yeah, Zendaya as well. Yeah, but like Tom Holland, you feel like he's been holding this like this thing, and he's like, he just cries, on her shoulder, like, MJ, I've missed you so much. Like, you finally found out. It is so emotional, and it fucking hits you. And then it pans to Zendaya's face, and it's a cold face.
Yeah.
And she says,
"Go ahead, Peter. Touch her.
Hold her."
Hold her.
And it's like the realization that it's not MJ. And you see...
The same way Peter feels is the same way we felt.
We feel. And I remember I was in the theater the first time, and I remember just going, that's fucked. I was like, nah. Because I see a lot of conjecture online of people saying, oh, I knew it was Jane the whole time.
Shut the fuck
I was
up.
like, bro, come on.
Shut up.
Shut up. I was like, I was convinced. I was like, that's MJ.
The previous scene is literally Spider-Man stopping her and being like, I've figured out your jump radius.
Your range, yeah,
and she's stuck on the helicopter.
So you're thinking, it's not. And then, there's the reveal that it's Jean Grey controlling Peter. And she's just like talking down to him. It's fucking like brutal.
I can see why you loved her.
I know.
She's smart. She's
and
funny.
you feel for Peter. And it's like, bro, like I've seen some fucked up shit in the MCU and shit. But this might be the most fucked up. And it's just a girl controlling some bloke's ex. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah. And
whoa.
The most evil scene. And I sat there watching it the first time and I'm just like...
Bro. Yeah. And if that didn't break your heart, the scene later in the movie, I mean, you can say it, Jibs. It is the most like gut wrenching.
So basically,
gut wrenching scene.
Actually, before we touch on that scene, the sequence before that was the Spider-Man and the Punisher fighting the Hulk.
Woo!
So.
Oh my God, Frank Castle, man.
Dude, so Spidey comes up, and the one thing that I really like is he was moving like a spider. So he's on the ceiling, he's like investigating, and then he like pops his head down. Like, I want to see more of that when he's like investigating, like he's moving like a spider. But then like it starts off as Smart Hulk, and his CGI was really, like, this is the best he looked.
Yeah, the CGI is just next level.
And the one thing that I really love is every single character, in terms of like the more important characters, are just mirrors of Peter.
Yes, absolutely.
Like Jean Grey is a mirror of Peter if he chose not to be a hero. Bruce Banner,
mirror of Peter. They're both battling this monster inside.
Like inside of them.
Yeah.
And like one has suppressed it, and one is trying to suppress it.
Yeah.
But it's not to the same level as like the Hulk would.
Yeah.
So it's like Peter coming face to face with these sort of demons. So then he eventually, he starts fighting the Hulk, and then the camera just pans and you just see gunfire, and it's the Punisher.
Yeah, bro. Frank Castle, man. Like, he is... Oh, man. He's... Like, John Bernthal is just so good in this role. he's just unleashing hell on the Hulk, and it's just bouncing off him.
It's just like it's doing nothing, but it's just like you just see him, and then
He's just like, yeah, it's so fucking
it's
cool,
so
dude.
funny.
Oh my god.
And then Peter's just like, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
Yeah, and it's like, this is above your pay grade.
This is like you're fighting the Hulk.
You're fighting the Hulk.
And then the kid is like, "Oh shit!"
Pants to the Hulk, it just
He
smashes
just
on the
sma-
ground.
he's
And
just like, "Oh,
there's
shit."
a sick scene where Spidey jumps up, webs Frank Castle, slides him along the ground, and the Hulk's jumping through, and it's just this slow-mo shot. It's like, bro, this is like I think someone said online, this movie is like a Saturday morning cartoon. Where
Yeah.
you have the Punisher and you have Hulk and you have Spider-Man, they're fighting, and it's like, bro, this is like what I've always wanted to see, bro.
I think I said this in episode 1 in terms of when you were asking me about the plot. Like, this feels like a comic book.
Comic book, bro, yeah.
Like, where you're just going, where it's like a self-contained story, but you're having like side stories. Like, oh my god, you have
Yeah.
Peter with his internal struggles, but in this same story, you have the Punisher, Spider-Man.
I mean, to bring it to
versus-
comic book, there are multiple shots in this that are just like, they're ripped from the comic
They're
book. Like,
ripped straight.
I can bring up.
Like the end of the movie when the Punisher is carrying Spider-Man is
Yeah.
a 1-to-1, not spread, but page
Splash, yeah. Splash.
splash of the Punisher holding Spider-Man in the Civil War
Yeah,
comic.
Yeah. I'll bring it up now, but yeah, like there's just so many things in this movie that like feels like it's been jumped out of the page and to on screen. Try and get it now. Struggling to get it, but no, I think the interactions between Frank and Pete kind of carry the movie. I can't even find it, bro. Oh my god.
Dude, you found it so easily before.
I know. I pulled the page up. I was like, oh, this is it here. Oh my god. Where the hell are you? Where the bloody hell are you? Oh well.
It's gotta be somewhere in the middle.
That's fine. I'll find it later. But yeah, no. The interactions between Punisher and Spidey are the glue of this film. And like you said, when Frank first shows up, it's like, dude, this is awesome. He's in his sick van. Obviously, it's the armored vehicle chase scene where Spidey's trying to stop this armored vehicle, and he's got Frank having to deal with Frank. And you know, I like you said, it's like something out of a comic book. And to bring it to this guy right here, I know there's been a lot of like talk about, I mean, how Hulk's been handled over the years post Infinity War Endgame. Savage Hulk is fucking back, bro.
Yeah, he's back.
He's
He's
fucking
so
back.
back.
Oh my god, bro.
And I don't know if you caught it in the movie, but
Oh.
he's back, and they did it in a good way where everyone thought like mind
I'll
control,
look for
right?
it now. Go.
Yeah. He he got mind controlled, but he was still smart Hulk. So he was, and the gauntlet was off, the inhibitor was off. So
Yeah.
he was still he was unrestricted. And then Bruce Banner, the Hulk, was strong enough to get Jean Grey out of his mind.
Yes,
And then
yeah.
right before he transforms, he says, "I think she broke something in me."
And one thing I've always loved about whenever, and credit to Ruffalo, he's always done this amazing. Whenever Hulk transforms, it's like a painful experience.
Yeah.
And Ruffalo does such a good job of like trying to hold it in. And granted, we've had Smart Hulk over the years, and it's like, oh, bro, that's like not as interesting.
Yeah.
But to see Savage Hulk come back, and to see that shot of him, the camera kind of gliding up to see his perspective of Spidey, it's like, bro,
Spidey's like tiny as.
he's tiny, and it's like obviously this is the comic book panel here
at the end of the movie.
At the end of the movie with Punisher kind of cradling Spidey. So like we said, it's straight out of comic book. But back to Hulk, you feel the threat looming of him just rising up and becoming
and then
Hulk again.
it pans to him where you just see the sheer size of
him, and he's bigger
This
than
is
the Smart Hulk.
biggest he's
Yeah.
ever been.
It's bigger than, because Smart Hulk's big, but it's like he's not like imposing, and that might just be because of the posture. But I think just his muscles aren't as big
He's
as well.
not as big.
But this
but
Hulk, he's a monster. He's fucking huge, dude.
yeah, he's
and
massive.
he's terrifying, bro.
Yeah, and
when he pants over Spider-Man,
and
I'm like,
Spider-Man's
I'm
like, I didn't know you could get that big.
Oh shit! And Spidey's like, yeah, I'm gapping it.
I'm leaving.
I'm gapping it. And one thing I kind of wrote in my notes is, you know, one thing we're going to do on the show is like versus battles as a segment. And I know growing up, we always used to say like, who would win, Superman or Hulk or this or that. We finally get to see a scene of, you know, Hulk versus Spider-Man, which I've always wanted to really see.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of Spidey's ingenuity of him trying to web
The
Hulk to this wall, and he's moving around. He's being very elusive. But at the end of the day, there's levels to this shit, dude. There's levels to this
I will say, this was Spider-Man with his inhibitor on.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that with his inhibitor off, he might beat the Hulk. But would you say...
Well, would you say like this natural webs version of Spidey's like stronger? Is that what you're trying to imply?
I would say it would I would say
think he's a bit stronger.
I would say the Hulk would still win, but
I think the Hulk would definitely still win.
I think you can give more arguments with him without his
inhibitor,
inhibitor, where he could take the Hulk down.
That's one thing we need to bring up is at the end of this film, like Tom Holland's Peter Parker is definitely stronger.
Yeah, he's definitely stronger.
When he webs those
the hand
and the Department of Damage Control, when they shoot the gauntlets at him the first time, he shoots the webs and it goes straight through. Loses the inhibitor and he gains this transformation. He accepts the transformation. He's using natural webbing and he's a lot stronger. He takes on the whole hand, diffs them all. So bringing it back to him versus the Hulk, I do think that would give him a bit of a leg up. And he outsmarts the Hulk for a lot of the fight in this movie. Yeah. But like, I just think the Hulk's a different level. Hulk's on that Thor, Sentry, Captain Marvel level. Spider-Man's like powerful. And I love that we get to show that Spider-Man is a genius in this film. Yeah.
Like when he's speaking, it is so funny. Like this is a Jibs W, but it's
what's a Jibs W now? Let's hear this.
When Peter and Bruce Banner are talking about like DNA, RMNA, transcripts and all that.
Isn't that just like
and like genome
nerdy fake talk?
No, that's real. That's
real. Oh, well, okay.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, we both did biology.
Yeah, but I wasn't tapped into biology like that, bro.
Look, I also wasn't tapped into biology, but I have like, I would say I'm somewhat like I retain information, and like when I want to learn, and like I understood what they were talking about in terms of like their DNA sequencing, where basically, you know how a DNA is like a helix and it has multiple strands. They're basically talking about taking one strand and blocking that off.
Wow, so it actually is like proper
it's a real life concept.
Yeah. But well, it's obviously the only hypothetically. Like we don't have the technology to do
the hypothetical thing is them having powers within their DNA.
Yeah.
That's and obviously the technology. But
point being, it's still showing Peter is like
is actually
genius,
a genius. So it's like holy Jibs W. I actually understood that scene, but
it's cool, man. It's cool.
It was really cool.
It's cool to see like Peter invent different things because like it's still a homemade suit, but there's a bit of tech in there, but it's not like Stark tech. So it's like it's a great combination of harkening back to the old Spider-Man Stark suit, but also it's all made by Peter. And if you look in his house or his apartment, it's all tech that he's made, and you really feel like this interpretation of Spidey is actually a genius, which I didn't necessarily feel a lot in the previous movies.
I think all the movies, they tried to prove his genius by like, oh, he goes to school, he's the smartest kid in school.
He's the smartest kid in class.
And like they do this with a lot of superheroes, but it's just like, the other talking point we have, he's just built the first device that could potentially get rid of all the X-Men. The X-Men's powers, which later on might be an
Absolutely.
issue.
I think that will come back to haunt Peter. He's created the first mutant inhibitor, universal inhibitor thing that kind of just stops people's powers.
And it happens in the movie where Damage Control
happens in the movie. Yep.
They found his tech and they were just like, this was created by Spider-Man.
They're going to capitalize on it, and
we're going to suppress your powers.
I'm curious to see what the X-Men's relationship with Spider-Man is going to be like in the future. I hope he shows up in a lot of movies with the X-Men and stuff like that. And I hope they play on the storyline of like Pete's guilt for creating this sort of technology, because it's going to lead to, if you know anything about X-Men and X-Men lore and X-Men comics, it's going to lead to the subjugation of a lot of mutants and a lot of harm, unbeknownst to Peter Parker. And I think it's alluded to in the conversation that we were talking about with Bruce and Peter, where Bruce is talking about like this technology you're talking about. There's a lot of moral implications, you know, like how do you decide what is natural and what isn't, you know?
Yeah.
And that's even brought up again when MJ is helping Spider-Man with the universal
And she's
inhibitor.
like, this is some serious stuff.
This is some serious stuff.
Like
so I like how they're alluding to that, you know? It makes the whole setting up the X-Men really exciting, where they're going to bring it. But yeah, I love just seeing Peter's intellect shown. Like again, small little things that Tom Holland has added to this character in this movie elevates him. Like we said, he elevates him up there. He's so good in this. We're gonna bring it back to the heartbreaking scene.
The heartbreak scene. So, do you want me to continue?
You continue it on. Yeah.
So Spidey comes back, and
after defeating.
Well,
he didn't necessarily defeat
but basically
Hulk.
Calms the Hulk down. Makes him realize.
And defeating Jean as well. He puts the inhibitor on Jean.
Inhibitor on her, and then they take
neutralizes her, and she gets taken away by damage control.
Comes back, and MJ has found the letter that he wrote for her in No Way Home, and she's basically like, I want to know, like, I deserve to speak.
Yeah, and I think it's such a
and you could tell
mature conversation. I really like how it's, you know, like MJ's upset. That she hasn't told this, you know.
Yeah, and like you could tell in the scene that him unmasking himself. By the way, she just goes, "I want to talk to this Peter Parker." She's like,
Zendaya's so good in this.
You could tell that she still doesn't know who he is.
No.
Even after reading that letter, takes their mask off, and she's like, basically like, "Why did you do this to me? Why did you not give me this letter?" And Peter's whole reasoning, which I love this scene because this reasoning is what a lot of people use in their real life for their loved ones, where they're like, I have to let you go in order to protect you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sort of stuff. So he's like, I wrote this letter. I don't know if I was going to give it to you. I don't think
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was supposed to give it to her. I'm pretty sure he says it in the movie, like, you weren't supposed to say that.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever going to tell her.
And basically Peter is like, look, I lost someone because of me, and in order to protect the ones that I love, I had to make that sacrifice for everyone to forget me and stay away from you. And Zendaya's MJ is basically like, you don't get to make that decision for me. It's this thing of like, you're doing what's best for me, but that's still
without my decision.
Like, it's MJ just saying that's not what's best for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and then Peter's just basically saying like, I'm sorry. Like, I just wanted to protect you.
Yeah, and you can tell with Peter that the part of the reason why he doesn't want to tell MJ is because he feels the guilt of May. He talks about earlier how he lost someone, and it was his fault.
Yeah, and like
and he doesn't want that to happen again.
I will talk about Aunt May later. Like, I have mentioned it briefly.
Yeah, you have. We'll get to her.
I'll talk about Aunt May later.
Yeah.
But, basically after that, it's just heartbreaking, and Peter basically says, I love you. When in No Way Home, Zendaya is like, don't tell me
that's a
until
good callback. That's completely. I completely forgot about
right
that.
Before the spell, when they're saying their final goodbyes, he doesn't say I love you because then MJ stops him to say, when you find me,
that makes it hit even.
I want you to say I love you. He says I love you, and she goes, look, what you did for the old MJ, talking about it in the past.
And that shows that MJ's still a good person, that she can recognize.
She can empathize, like, the lengths that he went through.
Yeah.
And basically she's like, I appreciate what you did for her, and I can see why. She almost talks as if MJ was another person.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I can see why.
She talks in the third person as
That
like
third
it's a
person,
different
I can
girl.
see why she would love you, and do all these sort of things, but I don't love you.
I don't love you, and it
I don't
fucking. Oh man, that gets you.
I don't love you.
Yeah,
I don't even
bro.
know who you are.
Yeah. And if you've ever gone through heartbreak, you can.
If you've ever
and, like,
gone,
I'm gonna keep on saying, Tom Holland is amazing in this film. I think it's his best ever performance I've ever seen him in. Like we said, we're gonna go watch the Odyssey probably in the future, and he's probably good in that. I think his acting in it, where it pans to him after she says "I don't love you," and it's like the gulp.
like
it's
you
the
can
realization.
just see his heart.
It's the
sink.
heart sinking. It's all these human emotions that is just so like heartbreaking. Man.
And, like, that's where it like comes back to, like, again, people say like they can relate to Peter Parker, but
yeah, man.
I mean, like, us two, we
yes,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Yes.
we're not gonna touch on it.
Not
but
going to touch on it, but man, especially, people are going to love this film. But if you're going through something similar, or you can, again, self-inject with Peter through whatever. Obviously, no one's going through the instance where their girlfriend doesn't remember them because of some magical spell. It is melodramatic, but there are certain themes that played around that you can self-inject and really feel like
yeah,
that's you in that situation.
And
And that's what's going to make you love this movie even more.
And the one thing that I'll say, I've seen it on like TikTok and stuff, and I think people have got it so wrong. People have gone and used that scene as a way to be like, no matter how much you love someone, if they don't love you back, you just keep moving forward. I think that is so wrong in the context of this movie, is because she doesn't love him because she doesn't know who
he
her
is.
memory
Yeah.
was wiped.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah.
in real life, memories don't get wiped. They just go to the back.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
become faded a little bit. You might forget, but
Yeah.
they're always there. They weren't wiped.
Well, I do agree with the sentiment that is important to, when you go through any sort of trauma, to
It's important.
process it, heal, and get through it. So I kind of disagree, but at the same time, like you said, it is a different context.
It's a different
you know?
context. I agree in the same sense of like moving forward.
Yeah, yeah.
And still like Spider-Man still moves forward.
He still moves forward,
despite
yeah.
all the heartbreak.
Yeah.
But that's just, I think, because that one scene is so big everywhere right now.
Yeah.
It's probably the biggest scene in the movie that's gone like,
You see it all through social media,
just-
edits,
yeah.
everyone talking about it.
Even if you haven't seen the movie and like it's not really a spoiler,
Yeah,
you'll
bro.
just see quotes of
Quotes of it, and
I don't love
that
you.
shows you again why people are captivated by this movie, because it's so, again, relatable, because so many people will bring up how they have similar experiences. And I think on top of what you said, Jibril, I see a lot of people saying like, oh, I wish they got back together or whatever. But I just don't think that's a very
like how
mature, and like, I don't think that's natural. I think in a obviously super dramatic instance where, say, your girlfriend completely forgets who you are because of some spell, I think it's natural that she's not going to be like,
she's
yeah,
not going
I
to
do
get
love
back
him,
with you
because she
yeah.
doesn't know him.
Because
And I don't agree with that sentiment online that people are
I
saying.
don't either. And there's some people who are like, I wanted to see them get back together, and it's just not that simple. Because,
No.
because and
It's still heartbreaking.
it's heartbreaking,
Yeah.
but the scene
Yeah.
after it builds a new foundation where the
Yes.
reason why they
Yes.
fall in love is they spend moments. She does her little, so basically after that scene where he's like, I don't love you, and honestly, like, if I was Peter, MJ leaves after saying I don't love you, I don't even know you, comes back, and this bitch has the audacity.
Well, she doesn't,
No, shut up. She has the audacity to sit there. Hey, I don't have a phone, and I have no way of getting home. Can you take me home? Yeah. Fucking take a taxi
No,
home.
Disagree. Peter is such a good person.
He is.
And
Like,
again, like we talked about with Jean Grey, all the fucked up shit she did to him and other people, he's still willing to see the good in her. And I think with that instance, like, yes, he's fucking heartbroken. And it's kind of like one of those instances where, like,
like, he's taking her home, and he's
it's
just
like one of those instances where, like, say a girl's breaking up with you, but like, can we still be friends? It's like, no.
No,
Like the
you
petty side
fucking-
would be like, man, fuck you.
Like,
but
I don't want to be friends with you.
the mature side and why everyone's got to be more like Peter Parker is he, you know, he's still a good person and he web slings her home.
In complete
And
silence.
It's awkward.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
get me
awkward.
wrong.
They're both silent.
They're both silent.
And the one
is-
thing I'll
you know,
give
you can relate to that on many different levels. And
I
so-
can give MJ credit because they could have taken that scene in terms of like she just goes upstairs and we don't see her for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But as she's going up, she stops and she's like, "Do you want to come up and see Ned?"
Yeah.
And she invites him to
It's so
create,
lovely.
even though she still said, "I don't love
Yeah.
you." The empathy of still like being there and almost
Being there,
that's
yeah.
the foundation of them getting back together, creating new memories.
Yeah, new
The old
memories.
Peter
Yeah.
will not come back in her
Yeah.
head, but creating new memories
Yeah.
with Peter is what will get them back
Do you
together.
think? I see a lot of people online saying like, you know, like surely she remembers like something about him because she still remembers Spider-Man.
Yeah, she still remembers.
Still remembers Spider-Man. She still remembers being attacked by Mysterio and being saved by Spider-Man multiple occasions, like in the previous movies. She just doesn't remember Peter and anything to do with Peter Parker. I know when Jean possessed her, she goes, and it's really fucking cruel. She's like, there are no
There are
memories of you.
no thoughts
And
of
she's
you
just
in
fucking
here.
rubbing salt into the
Fuck,
room.
if the knife was already in there, she's just twisting
The knife in there, and it's like, bro, what the fuck? I mean, like, I get you don't like Spider-Man, but you really got to do all that.
it. Yeah.
But I don't know if she just said that to be for real, or if she was just saying that to hurt Peter Parker, because I get the sense there are multiple times in the movie when she's not possessed that she does miss something. It's not necessarily a person. There's some sort of, I don't know, because, you know, earlier in the movie where Ned asked her about some sort of job interview, she said she got it, didn't want to take the job. He asked why, and she's like, oh, there's something that's keeping me, and it pans over to Peter. And then later in the film, at the end, where she's holding the Black Dahlia necklace, and she's kind of reminiscing to herself. Not to say I think that she remembers Peter at all. I don't think at all. I think the movie proves that. I do think there's something.
I think it's her. MJ as a character is someone who connects the dots really quickly.
Really quickly, yeah.
So even though there's no thought of Peter, the Black Dahlia necklace has always been MJ's favorite flower.
Yes, true.
Like so to
That
her,
is true.
To her, it always meant something. It's
Yeah.
not just like Peter, right?
Yeah.
But she's smart enough to be like, I know I didn't get this.
Yeah.
Who got this for me?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
she can't remember who got it for her, sorry. She knows it was Peter.
Yeah.
So it's just her piecing it together rather than remembering the memory.
Okay. Yeah.
Is my interpretation.
No,
because,
I could see that.
because-
I'm curious to see,
Because
because I feel like it can go both sides. I feel like there's a reality where she knows she has no sort of, I know she has no memory, but she has no sort of like, you know, subconscious feeling or emotion towards Peter or that situation. But I also feel like I'm in the camp where I feel like she is drawn to something.
she's drawn to something where she
And I
has-
think they're going to get back together
yeah. And I think
in the future.
like when Jean Grey was in MJ's mind, she still remembers incidents like the Washington Monument and all that stuff. So those memories are still there. But the other thing that I will say, I'm completely convinced the fact that the memories will never come back.
No, I don't think they're ever going to come
I
back.
think they'll ever come back because when she said there's no thought of you in here, like I believe that.
I think
because
the spell completely
she
erased
goes
it,
into Punisher's head and goes, this guy's got some real issues.
Yeah.
So the spell, which I'll touch on it, the ending where Peter and Ned do the handshake.
That's another thing that
That's one of those endings where it's just like it's up to interpretation.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like Stranger Things, where does 11 die? Does 11 not die?
Yeah.
It's kind of those interpretations of did Ned actually remember because of his reaction where he's like, Peter? Or is it is it earlier in the movie when MJ says Peter when he's
and
in
it
his
reveals
suit,
Peter that
and then
Spider-Man
Ned's
is
like,
Peter. Yeah.
Spider-Man's name is Peter?
I did see a theory online that because Ned has magical abilities,
Yeah.
that maybe that's what helped him kind of
But if you
lose the spell a bit, and maybe at the end he does remember Peter.
but if you remember in No Way Home, there's Doctor Strange cast a spell on Wong and he doesn't remember.
That's true. That's true.
And
That's true.
he's Sorcerer Supreme. He doesn't remember.
Well, not to say like
Not to say
it
that
doesn't work on sorcerers, but
Yeah.
I just think that maybe there could be an instance where the spell kind of wears away because he's got some. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm.
I would say it
clutching
makes
at
it
straws,
makes
yeah.
more sense for anyone.
Yeah.
That is Ned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone else, no.
Yeah.
No.
One thing we kind of haven't really been talking about is the whole storyline with Jean Grey and the Department of Damage Control. You know, we got what's his name, Tillman.
Great question. I know they eventually start calling him Bill. William Bill Metzger.
William Metzger, which is played by
The guy who plays Milchick in Severance. Fuck.
Tremel Tillman from Severance. Yeah,
From
yeah.
Severance,
He
who plays Mr. Milchick.
William Metzger, Bill Metzger. He is the leader of the Department of Damage Control. And apparently in the comics, I'm not as well versed in X-Men comics, but apparently William Metzger is kind of like
Is he like a Trask?
he's like a Trask Striker type of
Yeah.
character, anti-mutant.
Which, when I look at that, I didn't realize until the second time, casting him in that role where he does the same thing in Severance was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he does a really
Perfect.
good job.
He does an amazing job.
And there's this conflict between him and Jean Grey, which is like the other main plot of the film. Again, back to my only issue with the film, it's like it's just trying to empathize with Jean Grey because she really is a villain in this. She's really hard to. She does a lot of irredeemable things, like take advantage of innocent civilians.
That guy that got hit by the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's probably fucking
He's
dead.
fucking
bro.
dead.
He was an old guy, and also like humans aren't very they're not very strong.
Yeah, they're not
you
very
know?
durable.
So I think Jean takes advantage of a lot of people and hurts a lot of people. And I think the film trying to empathize with her, I just struggle with that. But again, on the second viewing it. But what was your thoughts on like how Jean was portrayed in this? And back to Sadie Sink, like, did you like that storyline? Because it's my main issue with the film.
I think same thing. It was kind of an issue in terms of not like the way that they wrote her character and trying to empathize. I was just more so her motivation. But I think on second viewing, I liked it a lot better just knowing that this is actually a fresh take on Jean Grey. Like, she's a lot younger. Jean Grey is normally a lot older.
Yes.
Like almost adult. You know, she's younger. I'm not too familiar in the comics, her sister.
Yeah, in the comics, so she joins the Xavier School of Gifted Youngsters. She joins the X-Men at a very young age because there was a certain instance where, obviously, when mutants, their powers activate mostly during adolescence, or puberty.
Yeah.
And there was a psychic attack when her powers developed, and I think she killed her parents or something to do with that. And I think her sister wasn't initially a telepath. And
Yeah. So I think her sister was basically an original
yeah, it was an original idea. Yeah.
in this movie.
So I was really unfamiliar with it. Again, I'm not as well versed with the X-Men, but my interpretation of like Jean was like very different to what it is now. I know she's always had dark tendencies, but I never knew she could be this cruel. I know with the Dark Phoenix she could,
Yeah.
but that's why I wanted to ask you, like, did you like Sadie Sink's interpretation of it? Or do you like where they took the character? I'd say?
Yes.
Maybe that's
I'm
a better
gonna
way
say,
to
I'm gonna say yes because it's basically like I said earlier. It's a mirror of Peter.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
Peter, he has these powers. Now the only deterrent is no one.
Just gonna check the cameras.
Oh yeah,
Keep going.
that's fine. But the only deterrent is that no one came after Peter.
No.
No, you don't have an external force that's searching you because you're special.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
you have someone searching for you because you're special, you're gonna be in a flight or fight.
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
reaction. So you can sort of. I say this I say this in general to like a lot of people. Like you, like I to the like, I don't know. People might not know me. People who do know me, like they see me as a good person, right? But I'm still
Questionable. No, go ahead.
I'll bank that for later. But I would say, look, I'm a genuinely good person, right? But I'm still in the future, in my past, I have made really bad mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. Now, obviously, it depends on the severity and stuff. So it's sort of the same sort of deal where Jean is a good person, but because of the circumstances, she had to make choices where she.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
She believed was right, and you can't always do that for every character. But I think it was a fresh way of doing it, especially because Jean has just been so polarizing over the years.
Yeah.
So for them just to take it in a very simple direction is what I think she needed.
No, that might have changed my thought process on it. I think if you view it from the perspective, like you said, of like her situation is what kind of molds her into the actions that she does.
Yeah.
It makes her a bit more empathetic of what's happening. And I think it also kind of shows you where her life could have gone without the Xavier Institute.
Yeah.
And where a lot of these mutants go if without the X-Men.
Like, the parallel I'm going to give you right now is... I don't know how you're going to react to this. Jean and Anakin. Anakin had dark tendencies.
Yeah.
Which,
No.
Which
fair.
eventually
That's fair.
pushed him to the dark side. Jean shows these dark tendencies, whether that's intentional or not, for a Phoenix storyline later.
Yeah.
But eventually, if she does get the Phoenix Force, those dark tendencies will come out.
It's going to make that storyline a lot more like
a
charitable.
lot more believable,
believable.
whereas people weren't really fond of Wanda turning because of the Darkhold.
That's a good point. I wasn't either.
Like, people weren't a fan of Wanda turning so quickly, but now that we've seen Jean have dark tendencies from a perspective that can make sense, it just makes the Phoenix Force story, if they do it in the future, more believable.
I agree. I do still think some of the shit she did was just really cruel.
Oh yeah, that doesn't
like
it's really, really cruel.
You know,
touch her.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But I did think her performance was fantastic, and to see, it was also kind of our first look at like how powerful she actually is.
Yeah, so she goes from having just telepathy,
standard telepathy, and it's more it's got a range on it as well.
Yeah,
right?
It's got a jump radius.
Yeah, it's got a jump radius on it, and then when she's captured by the Department of Damage Control, William Metzger's doing experiments on it. And one of my friends, when I went and watched this film, he brought up, "Is this the first interpretation of Cerebro?" And I was like, "Oh my god."
I never thought of it like that, but
never thought of it like that. I'm like, bro, that's actually really exciting. Holy shit. It wasn't, but it did unlock her powers, and it unlocked her second mutation, which is telekinesis, which is what she has in the comics. But it amped up her telepathy.
Yeah, it amped her
and
telepathy.
There's an insane sequence, and I think the visuals is also amazing as well.
It almost reminded me of Invisible Woman's powers.
Invisible Woman's powers, there's this light spectrum to it, and it explodes at the Department of Damage Control, freezes everyone in like this like telepathic shockwave. Everyone's frozen, and it harkens to, if you've ever seen Logan, one of the main storylines of that is Charles Xavier's really fucking old in that movie.
Yeah, he's
really fucking old, and he's got dementia, and he has these seizures that are linked to his telepathic abilities, that just like anyone in like a certain radius is just frozen.
Which is why the reason...
And it looks painful.
Which is why the reason the X-Men are dead in that universe.
Yes.
Is because of his seizures.
Because of his seizures, it wiped out a lot of people, and only Logan was able to survive because of his healing factor. And that scene where Jean has that telepathic kind of outburst reminded me so much of that, but it looks so much more stunning. There was just this like vibe to it, and I'm so excited to see for the future more display of both Jean's powers, but also a lot of other X-Men and where they take it. I know they've just cast Emma Frost, Samara Weaving as Emma Frost.
I did see reports of that.
Woo! That's exciting, man.
That's exciting because
she's hot as well.
That's why you're excited, buddy.
No, but also, well, yes.
Yeah.
But also, I love to see how the MCU were going to take their mutants. I know they're bringing back a lot of Fox X-Men, but just to see Jean Grey in full flight, I think it was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I think it was really awesome.
And then
We'll get to the climax of this film as well.
Yeah, like I pointed out to you, like Sadie Sink in a interview was just like, "What's one way to describe your character?" And she said, "Scrunchy."
Scrunchy, and most people would before they watch the movie.
And I didn't realize until the second viewing, and like we all saw the scrunchie, we're like, "Oh, you know," blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I pointed out to Justice, I said, "Oh my god, the scrunchie is yellow and green."
It's yellow and green,
which is the colors.
color scheme for
of
Marvel
Jean
Girl,
Grey.
which is what Jean Grey her outfit was green and yellow in the comics, and yeah, that's a cool little detail as well. But
it's also the color scheme of Australia, but like,
yes, we love that.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll change that back. But no, like you said, dude, I can understand now how you could. Oh, let me change that back. Empathize with Jane in this movie. Get it back to the red. There we go. But with this movie, if you view it from the lens of like her environment, and the end of this movie is so.
it's just another gut punch.
Yeah, so gut. It's like a gut punch. I know you wanted to bring up Aunt May, so obviously, Peter takes down this hand in this awesome, amazing fight sequence, which was just like, oh,
Yeah, that fight.
dude, that fight sequence was legit. Where that scene where he jumps up on the ceiling and the camera shows that he's on the ceiling, and oh my god, and him taking down the hand, he does his little ult at the end. It's mad, bro. It's so
Don't
good.
mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, bro. And then he kicks in. He sees the confrontation between Metzger and Jean Grey, and she's threatening to just kill this guy.
And then he just says, "You can jump." Funny
Yeah.
thing, she's like, "I'm a lot more powerful. Don't think I can't break into your
Yeah.
mind." But the other thing she doesn't realize is Peter's a lot more powerful now.
Yes, he is. And
But he basically lets her into his mind.
lets her into his mind, and we go back to a scene where I think it's the scene at the end of Homecoming. So at the end of Homecoming, Peter takes his mask off while he's in the apartment. Aunt May sees it. She flips out. She says, "What the fuck?" And one of my biggest, like, oh man, I wish I could have seen that in the MCU, is the conversation between Aunt May and Pete about his life as Spider-Man that he's been holding back. And it's beautifully interpreted in the comic if you've ever read the comic. But I know it doesn't delve fully into it, but we do get a scene with Marissa Tomei returning back, and it's it's hinted at it's shown multiple times in the movie, but it was cut off at a certain point. And we see, you know, Marissa Tomei's Aunt May talking to Peter about how his life's going to change and how he's special. But there are bad things that are happening, that have happened to him, but that he should just keep on moving, and that he's loved and that he's not alone. And it's a self-inject for her, because she goes into that instance and becomes kind of Peter in that situation.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier with Jean Grey, her and Peter's parallel is like the same. She's going through a time where she feels isolated and she feels alone and hunted for her powers. And that message that that memory of Aunt May telling Peter that he's loved and that he's not alone, it resonates with Jean Grey, and it really gets to her, and it's like fucking emotional. And it's like, bro,
And
that's so good, man.
It's so good, and
it's so good.
There's two things. There's three things. Aunt May as a character, she is so good. Dead.
Yes, yeah.
She's a better character.
Did you get the sense that she didn't really get enough to do Marissa Tomei?
100%.
Yeah.
She didn't get enough to do in the first two movies when she was alive.
Mm.
In No Way Home, she was perfect.
Yeah.
She was the
Yeah.
moral compass for Peter.
Yeah.
And she was basically steering him, where even Peter was just like, fuck these guys, send them back home to die.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not my,
yeah.
It's not my issue.
Yeah.
But she's like, no, you have
She's the moral compass.
She's the
yeah.
moral compass. Like, you have to do this because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then, like, her death, like, it was really impactful.
Yeah.
But you can feel her presence in this movie.
In this movie, even though she shows up in one scene.
In one scene that's repeated. And
Yeah.
it's like, when you see her for the first time, her presence is just there.
Yeah.
You can feel her, and her character is so impactful.
Yeah.
And she's not even alive.
No. And even Peter brings up, like, you know, Jean Grey says, like, I'm sorry for your aunt. And Peter's like, yeah, you would have loved her.
Yeah.
And again, her presence is felt, and it's just emotional, and it hits Jean Grey, it hits you. You know, again, like, the whole movie we've talked about is not just the concept of male loneliness, but loneliness in general and living in isolation. And it's important that you have community and people and friends and loved ones, and that you're not alone. And this movie is the climax of that, where you finally feel like Peter's not alone and Jean is not alone.
Yeah.
And that scene really resonates. And then it moves on to a scene that, like, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. When I first saw this scene, I'm like, oh my God, they're actually going to do it.
Yeah.
So they're talking. They have this really nice resolution between Jean and
And
Peter.
the crazy thing is, wait, I'll finish off my Aunt May point first.
Yeah,
before we
go
get
ahead,
into
go
that
ahead.
scene. But the other thing that it does, I don't know about the comics with Uncle Ben, but what it also does is it just elevates Aunt May as a character in terms of it's not just Peter's moral compass. You give Aunt May to Tony Stark, to Bruce Banner,
Yeah.
to Jean Grey,
Yeah.
and the same words can be inflicted to them, and it'll affect them the same way that it affected Peter. So it's not just like Uncle Ben means so much to Peter.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that's how good Aunt May is when she's
Yeah. She's just a good person and is the moral compass.
is
for
the
Peter.
moral compass, and not just for Peter but for everyone.
Everyone,
Because
yeah.
it was just seeing her speak to
Yeah,
Jean
and it was
Grey.
just like nostalgic to see her again. You know,
Yeah.
it was really like you felt like Peter had really missed someone like that in his life, just being alone, and then to see that pop up, I think it affects Peter as well. But yeah, like you said, she is the moral compass for a lot of these characters. Again, affects Jean Grey, which you wouldn't even think that would be a correlation, but it works so well.
I think, and my hot take that I didn't tell you before is Uncle Ben is really important.
Yeah.
In terms of the comics.
Absolutely.
He's really important
To the
because
mythos of Spider-Man.
because he's the whole reason with great power. Use your powers for good.
Yeah.
Be responsible. I think Aunt May is now taking that spot in future stories.
For this Spider-Man?
For most Spider-Mans.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's not to say they can't still do the same thing with Uncle Ben, but
Do you mean her interpretation of great power responsibility, or this whole idea that with like, you're not alone and you bear the weight of the power that you have and all that sort of stuff? Like, is that what you mean?
Both of them. Because
It's a very modern interpretation of great power.
It's
and,
modern because
and it's also kind of different as well.
It's different because look, Uncle Ben has been dead for a really long time, and they bring him back. The only time that I've seen that sort of impact from Uncle Ben, if I remember, there might be more instances, but is in Superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock takes over Spider-Man's body, when Peter Parker, when he first takes over his mind and Peter eventually dies in Doc Ock's body.
Yeah.
He gets all of Spider-Man's memories, and one of those memories is Uncle Ben telling him, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Because he was initially going to go off and do all evil stuff, but it was Uncle Ben's memory
Yeah.
that basically turned him.
I won't argue against you.
And I think
I think it's a hot take. And
Spider-Man PS4, something really underrated.
Oh, bro.
But Aunt May in
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse, she's not dead, but she's such a big presence in that movie, where it's just like, I'm here for you, kiddo. Like, she manages all like the underground stuff as well. And then now this
Yeah.
movie where they've killed off Aunt May,
Yeah.
but now she's a moral compass. It's just I think Aunt May is just the Uncle Ben now.
I don't actually disagree. I know you
Yeah.
probably thought it was a bit of hot. It is a bit of a hot take, but I think with modern Spider-Man storytelling,
I think Aunt May is more important.
I think there are different types of great power responsibility. I think it's obviously a message that will traverse the. I don't know how do I word it. Like, it will always be a prevalent. I was going to say traverse the point of time, but that doesn't even make any sense. But you get what I'm saying. Like, it will always be a message
always be
that
there
will resonate with people. That's kind of what I'm getting at. But I do think it is a bit outdated, maybe for modern responsibilities.
Because like you bring up Uncle Ben, and
Yeah.
like people will realize that he's important, but they're done with him. Like, they're sick of seeing
but
him.
I just think I think Peter's grown so far past that, and I think when you look at like the Into the Spider-Verse, like his great power, great responsibility is what are you going the what's up danger scene where he's talking to the other Spider-Man, talking about like what are you gonna do? Like, will you take that leap of
Would
faith?
you take a leap of faith?
You know,
it's basically would you take that risk?
Yeah, would you take that risk? And I think with modern Spider-Man storytelling, I agree with you where this relates more to modern Peter. Like, Peter knows that with great power comes great responsibility. That's not the message that he necessarily needs right now. What he needs is to be told that, like, you shouldn't live in isolation, that you're loved. And it's shown at the end of this movie, all the people that love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's shown that on a personal level that Frank loves Spider-Man, that, you know, there's still a love there between MJ and Ned, even though they don't know him, they do appreciate him.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think this message is like so like we get again we were talking about how it talks about the concept of loneliness, and I think at the end of this movie, you know, that scene where he's interacting with the crowd and he sees the little kid, I think it all kind of comes back to Aunt May's message of not to feel alone. You are loved. You are special. I feel like Peter finally realizes that. You know, he goes to the grave and he says, "You'll be proud of me, but I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take this alone."
Yeah.
You know, so I absolutely agree with you.
My third point before we move on to like the ending scene, is her line to Sadie Sink, Jean Grey. It's basically great power comes great responsibility. But what they did is they just removed great power.
Yeah, they changed it up a bit. Yeah,
basically, fuck this. Like, I'd love to wear this, but it's kind of annoying.
You did well.
Yeah. Basically, because everyone can do this. Because great power is because Peter had powers, so you have a responsibility to use your powers for good to help. But what Aunt May is saying is everyone has a responsibility for you.
Yeah.
You have a responsibility for yourself.
Yes.
And because of that, you're not going to be alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that's just a fresh take on that, like, amazing quote where
absolutely.
It's just like, I forgot how it goes like, you are beautiful, you are loved. Yeah. And
you're not loved because you are special, you're loved because you're you. Yes, absolutely.
And that responsibility is on you.
No, I agree.
And I like the first time and even the second time watching that line is just like I carry it with me now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The responsibility is mine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you said, it's a modern interpretation and it's a different message that will resonate with people in the contemporary sense. You know,
I reckon it's going to resonate even more. I don't know if people, because I've not seen it online, but I reckon that line is more impactful than the great power comes.
Yeah, because it's more modern and I think people experience that kind of issue a bit more today than when we're back then. You know.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. I love that you said that. You know, Aunt May feels like more of a character and a better character now that she's dead, and she has more of an impact. Let's just say that, more of an impact. Absolutely agree. And then it moves on, like I said, to this scene that like really like shocked me. So Peter and Jean, you know, they resonate. They connect.
And in Peter's mind, his spider sense goes off.
In Peter's mind, there's a audio.
You can hear his spidey sense.
I love that it pans to a dark corridor.
Yeah,
that's such cool like foreshadowing. Or
it's just so
like
insane
imagery.
That he can sense in his own mind.
He can sense kilometers
what's happening
away
outside.
That Frank he's set up on a sniper's porch. He can see he can kind of tell what's happening. He set up his sniper. He's gonna out, and he's said multiple times during this movie, and it's so frank that, you know, she's just got to be killed.
Like, you just got to be killed.
I'm just gonna kill her, and he shoots a sniper. It was probably like a
50 caliber, which
caliber, which, you know, for normal people would have fucking ripped someone in half. But for Spider-Man, it still leads a fatal blow.
Deadly, yeah.
Shoots it at Jean Grey. Last minute, Peter moves her.
He gets shot in like the neck.
No, I think he gets shot in like the lower torso around here.
Okay.
Because when Jean goes to like lean or grab onto him, she sees the blood.
And it's just a mirror of when Aunt May, like, when she was bleeding in No Way Home.
So Peter moves her out the way. He gets in the trajectory of the bullet. He cops it. It moves them back. That's how powerful this bullet is. He asks Jean, "Are you all right?" She's all right. She realizes that Peter's been shot, and beautiful acting from Tom Holland to be like, "I'm all right." And Tom Holland's so good in those scenes where he's been hurt multiple times. He's so good at it.
He's just like, I'm a...
It's kind of like the scene from Infinity War, the I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
He drops to the ground. He's bleeding out. There's a lot of
like
blood.
you can see blood.
You can see the blood. And Jean's just saying, like, don't go. Please don't go. Like, please stay here. And Peter, despite being fatally wounded, is still telling Jean, like, get out of here. You got to go.
Yeah.
Pans to a shot of Frank, and Frank is, like, kind of distraught that he's actually just shot Pete. And it goes to, again, the shot from Civil War where... Punisher's
runs
holding
into the hospital.
a wounded Spider-Man. He runs into the hospital. He gets him to safety. It goes to a new storyline of, how Spider-Man's been fatally wounded, and you see Peter in the hospital, and Frank is there.
Yeah.
And there's this very sweet interaction about how, Frank, despite being the tough guy and despite being very kind of
isolated himself
and volatile to any sort of interaction with or friendship, he says, "Look, I've seen brave in me in my day. He was a soldier. I've never seen anything like this," and he tears up. And it's just such a sweet dynamic between Spidey and Punisher. And there's a cute little tease where Pete's like, are you crying?
Are you crying?
And that was hilarious, man. And I loved that. And I loved their interaction. I hope they interact again. Obviously, Peter, he exits out the hospital just in his normal clothes, and funniest scene of the movie.
One of the
funniest scene in the movie.
He's like, "Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna plan for that."
He puts the mask on.
He puts the mask on. He's in there.
Everyone in the crowd's waving to him, and he's just going, "Oh!"
Wait,
yeah, you got it on. You got it on.
The crowd just sees Spider-Man, and then it just.
No, you gotta move it. There we go. There we go.
Oh, whatever. He's just. Oh.
And funny scene, man. But all the shows a shot of Jean going her own separate ways, and you see a shot of MJ with a Black Dahlia necklace
on their roof, like
on
their
the
spot.
rooftop, and it comes to this beautiful resolution of Peter again merging with himself and Peter Parker, not being isolated alone. We talked about the scene where he's at the gravestone saying to Aunt May, like, "I'm not going to live alone anymore. I'm going to put myself out there." And the final scene, you see Peter entering this bodega and goes to pick up flowers, and he sees Ned again.
He sees Ned.
He sees Ned. He goes up, does the handshake, and we were talking about it earlier, where you don't know if he knows him or not, and it ends. And when I first saw it, I thought it was a bit of a rushed ending. Watching it again after the hospital scene and all that, I think it's a great conclusion. It leaves open-ended. There's a resolution between Peter being Peter Parker, beating Spider-Man, merging that together, not being alone, and I loved it. I think it was so well executed, man. Like, this movie just like, I really want to just go see it again, honestly.
Yeah.
I just want to go see it again.
I would still say, even after the second viewing, I think the ending is slightly rushed.
You reckon?
I reckon, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I still think so, but I think I got what I wanted out of it, whereas the first time I was like, man, I don't know. But I think with the whole emotional scene,
I think now that you're saying, like, it ends with Peter Parker, like, talking with Jean DeWolf.
And that's another thing.
That's another character we haven't talked about.
We haven't even talked about a lot of people, if you're not a Spider-Man fan, you wouldn't even know who the fuck Jean DeWolf is. And I'm so excited to talk about Captain
I love Jean DeWolf.
I love Jean DeWolf. In the comics, Captain Jean DeWolf is, like, for people who don't know, the Commissioner Gordon Batman in the Spider-Man universe. And she isn't it for long. She's tragically killed in the comics by a character called the Sin Eater. But their dynamic is so sweet, and one of the very few social interactions and dynamics that Peter has while he's isolated. And I love that they always were talking on the phone. There was this kind of like maternal aspect to
Yeah, almost like
Jean
she was the
DeWolf.
mum.
She was,
and-
and she really looked after Spider-Man. And even when he goes berserk and flings Scorpion into a police car, she tells him to like hone it in. Like, I can't, if you do this again, I can't protect you, but like just take care of
Like,
yourself,
yeah.
you know? So I love that interaction. I thought the actress, I don't know her name, who plays the wolf was awesome. And it's just cool for like a cool little Easter egg for Spider-Man fans who read the comics and be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's Captain Jean DeWolf.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her since like the 80s or some shit, you know? So, yeah, I think the ending is still a bit rushed. And again, I have my qualms with Jean Grey,
Yeah.
how empathizing with her character. But I think it's such a great movie.
Yeah. I think my only other criticism is maybe like Spidey has a big rogues list, very iconic rogues list.
Yeah.
And the Scorpion was in it, Tombstone was in it, but it was only very short.
It's very short, yeah.
I don't mind them being like almost side-ish villains, but I feel like maybe I think Scorpion was fine in terms of how they handled.
Yeah, I thought
handled it.
Scorpion was pretty
But maybe
cool.
someone like Tombstone, they should have had
Yeah,
a little bit more.
I think that's something that can be explored in future movies.
Yeah, like Tombstone can like break out and it's just like his criminal underworld.
Yeah.
is
I
whatever.
mean, one thing I've always wanted to say, and my dream Spider-Man movie would be this: it'd be Spidey, my man Daredevil, fighting the Kingpin.
Yeah.
I just, especially with Spidey's interaction with Punisher in this movie, I'm like, I kept saying to Jibs in the second viewing, I really want to see him interact with Daredevil. I know there was a scene in No Way Home, but that was Matt Murdock. It's kind of different. I really want to see this guy.
Yeah.
And it would just make the world feel more lived in, and it would make the consequences of that show actually even matter. But like you said, like I said earlier, I think those rogues gallery can be explored in later films.
Yeah.
You know, and it leaves it open ended that he could interact with those villains or more. Then credit scene's a bit of a nothing burger, but it does allude to some exciting stuff.
It does allude to some very important stuff.
Yeah.
But
What do you reckon it is? So obviously, if you haven't watched the movie, it's the Spidey tracker thing that Ned created. It's just a pan of that, and it shows Spidey's location, and it zooms out on Earth,
it's saying unknown,
and
and
it
then
portrays him somewhere in the star, somewhere in space, and
Yeah.
it says Spidey will return, alluding to he'll probably return in either Doomsday, but I think probably Secret Wars.
Wars.
What do you think it is? Because I just think it's Battle World, but I have heard some others. It could be a different Spider-Man or something else. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I've seen the stuff where they're saying that it's actually picking up Toby's.
Toby's like a incursion
Yeah.
here.
I've seen the Battle World stuff.
Yep.
I think for me, I think it's him being transported to Battleworld.
Yeah.
Because, like, logically speaking, the Spidey tracker was developed for
For this Spider-Man.
this Spider-Man, tracking
yeah.
this specific Spider-Man.
No, yeah, I agree.
So it would be weird to, like, it would be cool. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Like, I'll still be happy if it is like Toby or Andrew. But it just makes more sense for him being transported to Battleworld, especially because they said he will return.
Yeah.
Not in Doomsday.
Yeah, he will
So-
return. Yeah, they didn't specify what.
They didn't specify, like,
That could be intentional.
it could be intentional.
That could be like, oh, we don't think he's in Doomsday. Oh, he's in
Oh,
Doomsday.
he actually is in
Yeah,
Doomsday.
yeah.
But I think my leading theory for the post-credit scene is him being transported to Battleworld.
Yes. And I think another thing is I do think with Secret Wars, if we're moving on to Secret Wars or Doomsday, I think they're going to do something with the black suit. If you're familiar with the comics, the black suit first shows up
In Secret Wars.
And
that fixes the whole No Way Home post-credit scene end.
yes.
Venom 3. where
Venom
they-
3, and it ties it in perfectly. And I just think it would be so cool for Holland to show up on Battleworld with the Venom suit on.
Yeah.
I thought, I have a feeling there's a cut of this movie where Tom actually does die.
Yeah.
Because, like, think about it. You said the ending feels a bit rushed, right? Could it be because they were changing it last minute and they just changed it in post-production last minute?
They-
And that the original ending was Peter actually died.
Well, my theory was either MJ dies or Peter dies.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I said in episode 1 that the final shot is the Craven's Last Hunt, where he rises out of the grave.
Yeah. But like that's what I mean. Like that could make sense why the ending feels rushed, because last minute they said, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't kill Peter and resurrect him with the symbiote.
Yeah.
It should be he just survives and we can do the symbiote later." Like that
Yeah.
that's possible.
And one thing, I love the symbiote storyline, but it has not been done justice.
no.
It's Spider-Man 3, nah. Marvel Spider-Man 2, nah.
No, yeah.
The
You're not wrong.
only time that they've done it correctly is Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular Spider-Man, they did it really
They
well.
did
Yeah.
really, really well, and the 90s animated.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of the
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
You know, but I love Spectacular Spider-Man. It's one of my favorite cartoons.
just-
and I
it
think
ju-
they get Eddie Brock right in that. And I
They
think
get
Venom
Eddie
right.
Brock because they set up their relationship before the symbiotes even.
Yeah.
They set up the relationship in terms of like their best bros.
Yeah.
You know, because he's Spider-Man.
But even like before that, they do in Spectacular Spider-Man, they do him doing night missions without
Yeah.
him remembering and being a bit more of an aggressive Spider-Man. Like
they
with
actually
him and the symbiote.
give him time to develop with the symbiote. Like
I think they do that kind of in Spider-Man 3, but it's played kind of for laughs sometimes as
Yeah.
well.
But I'm just waiting for them to do a symbiote story right. And if they're
Yeah, I
gonna
agree.
keep doing the same
I agree.
trope, I want them to give it give it its own movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's what they're doing, dude. I have a very strong feeling that's what they're doing. I think Sony have shown,
That they-
especially in
Sony
2019 when they took Spider-Man away for a bit, that they want to have a bit of fun in the action. They want to be in the MCU, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, especially when our theories about Secret Wars that they're going to merge into one universe, I think that's kind of what's going to happen, bro. Like, I could really see that. But again, we love this movie.
Yeah, this movie was just incredible.
I think
That's
we've probably touched on nearly everything about
Pretty
this
much.
movie.
pretty much everything.
Yeah, I really want to go see it again. I'll leave with this. Where would you rank this movie compared to all the other Spider-Man movies?
I will say one thing. I need to rewatch Into again, and I need to
Are we incorporating animated into this?
might as well, right?
Might as well. Okay.
I do need to rewatch Into, and I do need to. I've watched Across last year, but I need to rewatch that.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up the list. For Spider-Man.
I can just do it off the top of the dome. Spider-Man 1, 2, 3. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Better than Spider-Man 1.
Better than Spider-Man 1. I agree.
Better than Spider-Man 3, for sure.
Not better than Spider-Man 2, is it?
Better than Spider-Man 2.
I think it's better than Spider-Man 2 as well. I think it's better than all the Raimi movies.
Yeah, I think it's better than.
Better
all
than
the-
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, it's better than all those.
Better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Better than Homecoming.
Yep.
I agree.
I think Homecoming, again, people dogs on it, but I think Homecoming is also like, it's a straight level Spidey.
Yeah.
people forget that.
I really like Homecoming.
Homecoming.
I
is-
really like Homecoming.
People are like, oh, this is like, yes, this is
Yeah.
straight level Spidey for the first time in a long time. But Homecoming did give straight level Spidey. It was in his own neighborhood.
I think people's main criticism is the Iron Man
Is the
aspect
Iron
to
Man
it.
Jr. Like, go sit on
But-
fucking dildo.
I think it's better than Homecoming.
I think it's better than Homecoming. I
Better
think
than Far From Home.
better than Far From Home. It's better than No Way Home. It is better than No Way Home.
Oh, this is so hard. I really love No Way Home. Like, I'm like an No Way Home advocate. I fucking love that movie.
I love No Way
and people
Home.
people switched on that movie so quick.
As soon as yeah, it's better than No Way Home. It's better than No Way Home.
I don't know.
Really?
I think I need to rewatch No Way Home. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I literally before I went and watched Brand New Day, like I watched No Way Home.
I need to watch it again. Like
Yeah.
post. I haven't watched it post.
I just think the writing is so much tighter in this.
Yeah.
The pacing flows so much better.
Yeah.
The characters.
But the third act in No Way Home like ties it all together.
it does.
And it's so good, and I hate it's not the cameo fest, bro.
I didn't.
The Spider-Man and Andrew, they're from then on, it's like arguably the best MCU I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is so good. Like, I've never seen such good chemistry amongst different Spider-Man. Like, I want a movie of that.
Yeah.
It's so well done. There's so many good character moments for all three Spider-Men. And the ending for me is like, it's the perfect Spider-Man ending. It's even more perfect than the one we just watched.
Yeah.
I love the ending.
No Way Home, I thought the first act was actually a lot quicker than I remembered.
I'm going to say
I
No
think-
Way Home's better.
I think the middle part drags it down.
It does, but I just think the ending is so good. The ending is so good.
Yeah,
it rises the whole movie up.
I think the ending is perfect. Like, the ending is the essence of the character.
Like, I'll say this. I think for the whole movie, like on average, I'd say Brand New Day is better. But I think I like No Way Home better. Just as a movie, and I think it hits highs that I don't think any Spider-Man movie has hit besides. I don't think this movie is better than Into or Across.
I think the highs,
I was going to get to that. I don't think it's better than Into or
I
Across.
think it's higher. Like, No Way Home has higher highs.
Yeah.
And that does have to do with Toby and Andrew. Like, you can't beat that feeling. You just can't.
But I also think the higher is the ending.
Yeah, and I think the height is the ending, where it is just the most, like, if you were to,
Like the donut shop scene, bro. That really gets to me, bro.
Yeah.
I fucking love that scene so much.
The donut shop scene.
I can analyze that scene, bro. So
and it's just
bruh.
like he's sewing his suit, and it's
Yeah.
just like it feels like the perfect continuation into Brand New Day.
Yeah, yeah.
So I agree with.
I think it's a close. I think it's so close.
I
think it's so.
I think
close.
Brand New Day is not levels, but definitely better.
Okay, so would you say it's the best live action Spider-Man?
it's the
movie?
best live action.
What about Into and Across? I don't think it's better than Into and Across.
Not better than Across. I need to rewatch Into because I haven't seen it in a long time.
I think Into's better than Across.
Because
I think Into is so.
I've
good.
seen a lot of people say Into
is so good. Into is genuinely top 3 comic movie ever.
Yeah.
Dead set.
I need to rewatch Into.
Dead set.
Into's definitely
Into is so good, bro. I like Across, and I think it's just nearly just as good.
Is it because of the cliffhanger?
It's a little bit because of the cliffhanger, but also I think the second act isn't as strong as the Into second act.
Yeah.
I think we'll touch on it a little bit. Across is Into second act with like meeting the other Spider-Man, and that I'm not as big on it as everyone is else. Whereas Into's second act, where you meet the new Peter B. Parker, bro, that shit's so good. It's so fucking good. That movie's so phenomenal, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I still say Across is better than Brand New Day. But what a start. Oh my god.
Yeah.
If this is a trilogy, I'm assuming it's going to be a trilogy. Oh, bro.
Yeah, I think Across is better than Brand New, and I'll probably say Into is also better.
Where
than
would you
Brand
rank it MCU wise? As our final thing to end this episode of. Top 20.
New. Top 20?
No, I was going to go down. Top
Oh.
20. Top 20. Yeah, easily. Easily a top 20 film for the MCU. No, I was going to go top 20, top 10, top 5. You don't think it's a top 20 film in the MCU? I thought you were actually like fucking like slow in the head. Jibril, what are we talking about? What? Yes, it's a top 20 film.
Did I say anything yet?
Just say it is.
Top 5.
No, I was going to go down. Top 20, top 10, top 5.
Oh, yeah, I think...
Okay, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay.
Yes, top
Yeah,
20.
top
Absolutely.
20, yes.
Top 10.
Yes.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Yes. Yes. I'd say top 5. Because pre Brand New Day, are you putting No Way...
What's your top 5? Let me ask you.
I would have to go back and rewatch like the whole MCU again. Infinity War is there.
That's mine.
Winter Soldier is there.
Yep.
Civil War is
Yep.
there. The Avengers is there. That movie just did so...
Yeah. I don't know. My top 5. Infinity War.
Yep.
This is not in order. Infinity War, Winter Soldier,
Yep.
Civil War.
Yep.
Oh, Okay, now I'm blanking. Oh, oh. The original Iron Man.
What?
No Way Home.
What? Original, like,
Bro,
don't get me wrong. Original Iron Man is
Original
really,
Iron Man's fucking amazing.
it's
bro.
really, really.
Nah, I don't want to hear
It's
it.
really,
Don't wanna
really
hear it.
good. Like, it's a great movie. Not top 5.
It's top 5.
It's top 10.
It's top 5 for sure. Are you fucking out of your mind, brother? It's top 5.
No.
And then No Way Home. And then I think Brand New Day. I think Brand New Day is just outside my top 5, dude.
No, in no order. Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Brand New Day.
No Way Home.
I said the Avengers earlier.
Avengers. Avengers No Way Home. Unless you have a different candidate. I don't know.
No Way Home. I'll say Avengers is 6.
Actually, I totally forgot. Yeah, nah. We can scratch Iron Man. Guardians 3. Yeah. Guardians 3 is not better than is better than this movie. Yeah, so Infinity War. Winter Soldier.
I was gonna.
Cap,
It was in my
Guardians
mind.
3, No Way Home. Yeah, boom. There we go. End of the episode. Woo!
The fact that you said Iron Man in your top 5 was.
Iron Man's up there, though. Iron Man's so up there.
It's definitely up there. I'm not gonna disagree with you, but not,
It's so up there.
but not top 5.
I totally forgot about the Guardians, though.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I think Guardians 1 is better than Guardians 3.
No way.
Yeah.
Look, we can save that for another episode. Yeah, I think I put right outside my top 6.
You're
top
fucking.
5.
There's something wrong with you.
Okay. Well, that'll end our
That'll end the episode.
very long episode of the Multiverse.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know. All right. Of the
Fuck.
Multiverse Lounge. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much.
watching.
And
Really appreciate it. I know it was a bit of a longer stream, but
You know.
I hope you watched it to the end. If not, that's okay. That's okay.
That's.
In our next episode, I don't even know what we're going to be talking about in our next episode.
And
but
I have no clue.
we'll sort it out. We'll try and get it out quicker as well.
Yeah.
Bit of technical difficulties on my end. I need to get a new laptop.
Yeah.
But we'll also try and get clips out. But thank you so much for
Thank
watching.
you so much for watching. I gotta
Signing
go.
out.
Gotta go save the city.
Let's
Gotta
freaking go.
Gotta go find my Mr. Spidey and.
Woo! Let's go.